Right. If you're a UK homeowner or renter staring down a stubborn stain on your living room carpet right now, you're probably asking yourself one thing. How much is this actually going to cost to fix without getting totally ripped off?
Spot on. Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're acting as your knowledgeable mates to break down the real numbers from Taskino's 2026 UK Carpet Cleaning Price Guide. We are going to uncover the true average costs, the sneaky hidden fees, and exactly how to hire a proper tradesperson instead of a cowboy. Let's get right into it.
Okay, so I see 85 quid up first. Why are we kicking things off with this specific number? Well, we're starting here because this is the standard minimum call-out fee, and honestly, it completely catches people out. You might think, oh, I just need one tiny hallway or a box room cleaned, so it'll be dirt cheap. But the reality of 2026 cracing is that getting a van to your front door has a baseline cost, so paying a professional for just one tiny room rarely makes commercial sense for you. Keep that 85-pound floor in the back of your mind as we go through the rest of the figures.
That makes total sense. So with that baseline in mind, what is the actual average cost per room across the UK? Like, what's the typical damage for a normal household?
Right, so the median cost sits right at £60 per room. But context is absolutely key here. If you've got a standard synthetic carpet, light soiling, and, crucially, easy parking outside your house on a weekday, you'll generally pay around that 60 quid mark. Okay, so if we scale that up to a full 3-bed semi, what are we looking at? You're typically looking at a total bill somewhere between 220 to 450 pounds. And that will usually include a pre-vacuum, hot water extraction, and a basic spot treat.
Okay. But here's a massive question we hear all the time. Why on earth did my quote down in London cost so much more than my mum's quote up in Doncaster for exactly the same size room? Geography plays a massive role, and the regional divide is genuinely staggering. Rural areas and smaller towns definitely offer the best value, sitting at around 40 to 85 pounds a room. But London and the southeast, they demand a premium of 30% or more, jumping up to between 75 and 150 pounds.
That is a huge jump for the exact same job.
It is. We've literally seen identical rooms quoted at 55 pounds in Doncaster and a whopping 140 pounds in Fulham during the exact same week. Meanwhile, major cities like Manchester, Birmingham, and Glasgow sit comfortably right in that middle tier.
So is that London premium just because things are generally pricier down south? Partly, but it's largely because tradespeople have to pass on some hefty daily fees. You've got the £15 congestion charge and the £12.50 ULEZ fee for their vans. That is nearly 30 quid added to their overhead before they've even unrolled a single hose.
Ah, right, that completely eats into their margins.
Exactly. Plus they have to deal with tricky permit parking or lift-only access in high-rise flats. All of that extra hassle gets factored straight into your final bill.
So beyond just where you live, what exactly changes the price of the quote? Are there any soft levers we can pull to negotiate effectively?
Absolutely. Knowing these variables gives you a lot of power. 7 main factors dictate your final bill. For instance, the pile type is a game changer. A wool carpet needs pH-neutral chemistry and slower passes so it doesn't felt. That adds around 20% to the cost. Polypropylene, on the other hand, is much cheaper and easier to clean. What about things like stubborn pet stains? Oh, definitely. Soiling levels from pet urine or smoker households can add 15 to 40 pounds per room because they require specialized enzymatic pretreatments. And do not forget timing. Booking a Saturday or needing a same-day emergency call-out will for sure carry a hefty premium.
I also see certification on that list. Does that really make a difference to the bottom line?
It's totally worth highlighting. National Carpet Cleaners Association members, NCCA for short, usually charge 10 to 15% more. But you know what? That extra 10% is buying you total peace of mind. You are paying for proper public liability insurance, advanced training, and the correct chemistry that won't accidentally void your expensive carpet's warranty.
That makes total sense. Okay, next up. When I am actually booking the job, should I be asking for an hourly rate, or is it better to push for a fixed quote?
Choosing how you are billed is just as important as the rate itself. The crucial rule of thumb is this: use an hourly rate, usually 25 to 40 pounds, with a strict hour cap for small, unpredictable jobs. Think along the lines of a single pet stain or just one armchair. That way you avoid that massive £85 minimum call-out for what might just be 10 minutes of work.
And for bigger jobs?
For a whole house or an end-of-tenancy clean, you absolutely must demand a fixed-price written scope. This is non-negotiable because a written fixed quote legally protects you under Section 49 of the Consumer Rights Act 2015, ensuring they deliver reasonable care and skill.
Okay, good to know.
So if I want to avoid any nasty surprises on the day, how do I prep my home to get the absolute most accurate quote possible beforehand?
You basically need to provide a flawless, highly detailed brief. First, measure your rooms accurately in square meters. Please don't just say it's a medium room. When you use square meters, cleaners can instantly calculate their rate at around £2.50 per square meter. Next, photograph any specific stains in natural daylight.
And be totally honest about the pets, right?
Exactly. Be completely upfront about pets and smoking context. Surprises on the day equal expensive upcharges. Doing this consistently gets homeowners quotes that are 15 to 20% tighter. And as a final rule, always get 3 quotes. Grab one NCCA certified, one from a marketplace, and one from a local independent so you can see the real spread.
Love that strategy. Now, the marketplace is unfortunately full of bad actors. What are the major red flags or warning signs of a cowboy trader?
You have to be eagle-eyed for things that seem way too good to be true. For instance, if someone knocks on your front door offering £20 a room for a today-only cash deal, shut the door immediately.
Really? Why is that so bad?
Because they're likely just doing a quick pre-spray with no proper hot water extraction. All that does is leave behind a nasty chemical residue in the fibers that acts like a literal dirt magnet, meaning your carpet will resoil within weeks. Also, run a mile from operators who can't estimate a drying time or who insist on cash with zero invoice. It is simply not worth risking your carpets.
Okay, so avoiding the super cheap cowboys is key. But how can we actually save money without compromising on the quality of a proper professional clean?
There are some incredibly smart DIY actions you could take here. Simply moving your own furniture out of the room before they arrive saves 30 to 45 minutes of charged labor. You could also try bundling an oven clean into the same visit. Since the van is already parked outside, tradespeople love this and often give a 10 to 15% discount.
That is a great hack. What about treating stains before they get there?
Yes, pre-treat fresh pet stains yourself within 24 hours using something basic like Dr. Beckman from Tesco. This stops the urine from reaching the underlay, which heavily reduces the pro's follow-up costs. Oh, and a huge tip, always negotiate stairs per step, not as a flat fee.
But wait, hearing all this, what about just doing it myself? It's always so tempting to rent one of those machines from the supermarket to save a few quid. Let's look at the hard numbers for the DIY route.
It's a fair question. You can hire a rug doctor for about £28 a day from places like B&Q or Tesco. Add in 10 to 20 quid for the cleaning solution, and you're looking at around £50 completely out of pocket.
That doesn't sound too bad.
Maybe not on paper, but you have to factor in the serious manual labor, wrestling that heavy machine into the boot of your car, and the complete loss of your hard-earned Saturday.
Yeah, that's a brilliant point. If you price up the DIY route at 50 quid and then realize you are within 30 pounds of a professional quote, especially if it's just for a couple of rooms, that is exactly when you should let a vetted professional handle the heavy lifting.
Spot on. And that's where Taskino comes in. Every single cleaner on there is vetted, fully insured, and reviewed by real UK households. Plus, they provide those essential fixed-price written scopes we talked about earlier.
So before you grab a brush and start scrubbing another stain, ask yourself, is saving a few quid really worth risking your expensive carpets and sacrificing your entire weekend?
Probably not. Head over to taskino.co.uk to read the full guide and get clear, fixed-price quotes from trusted local professionals in your exact postcode today. Thanks so much for joining us on this explainer, and we will catch you next time.